Welcome back to Southridge Mall. When I was last here, we came upon a mall that had lost two of its anchors, Boston Store and Sears. Today, while Simon has walked away, Spinoso carries the torch and keeps this mall going. Let's step inside and see what's changed. Let's catch up on the mall's history. Southridge Mall was opened in 1970 as the sister mall to Northridge Mall, both of which were spearheaded by a collaborative effort between Herb Cole and Taubman Centers. Original anchors for Southridge Mall would be a Gimbels, Boston Store, JCPenney, Sears, and an F.W. Woolworth. Southridge Mall and Northridge Mall were both built off of 76th Street and were well positioned to take advantage of the outlying suburbs going up in the region. Both even underwent a significant cosmetic overhaul in the early 90s or late 80s. While Northridge Mall would fall to a combination of competition and crime stigma, Southridge Mall prevailed and would stand toe-to-toe with its competition, even as its anchors changed. I'll admit, so far it doesn't seem things have changed too much. Although the Sears has been reconfigured for new anchors, and they are trying to hide that vacancy left behind by Boston Store. We'll get to that later. (1987) would see Gimbels close, getting replaced by Marshall Field's briefly, before it became a Prangies store. Prangies didn't last long either, and would sell off to Younkers. And when Younkers and Boston Store became owned by the same company, Bergner's, Younkers would be closed down in favor of the longer established Boston Store. The anchor continued to be repurposed, getting subletted between a Steve & Barry's, Cost Plus World Market, and Linens and Things, though all three would close up after a time, with Steve & Barry's and Linens and Things closing due to bankruptcy. Although the madness would finally stop when this troubled anchor was gutted and overhauled in favor of a rare original Macy's store, right around 2011. And around this time, Simon Property Group announced a major overhaul and renovation to the mall to bring it to a more contemporary look. We'll talk about it later. Here's something I wasn't aware of until after my first visit. This corridor going to the management office is full of pictures from the olden days of Southridge Mall, and I think Northridge Mall too. Someone here cares about the mall's past and is willing to remind us of what once was, though I personally wish those grand fountains were put back in. I know it'll never happen, but one can dream, right? This mall was something else back in the day, wasn't it? Well, let's get back to the history. Kohl's signed on as a fifth anchor at some point in this mall's life, while Sears eventually closed in 2017. However, there were plans for the vacant Sears as a Round 1 Entertainment, TJ Maxx, and Dick's Sporting Goods / Golf Galaxy molded the vacant anchor to their will. However, more pressing matters arise when Boston Store announced closure. Their parent company, Bon-Ton, had begun liquidation and was closing everything in their portfolio. Boston Store eventually closed in summer 2018. And remember Kohl's? Well, they relocated in September 2018 as well. To make matters worse, Simon Property Group, whom acquired the mall from Taubman Centers, would go into foreclosure on Southridge Mall, forced to give the mall up. As of the making of this video, Spinoso Real Estate is tasked with managing the mall. This leaves the mall in a precarious condition, but it is worth noting that with a strong tenant roster, a redeveloped anchor, and potential redevelopment in the cards for Boston Store, Southridge Mall may still have some fight left in it. It ain't over till the fat lady sings. Having been here in the past, I was never a huge fan of the modern contemporary look Southridge has. While it isn't ugly, there's just nothing remarkable about it. It's just a forgettable interior. Now, it is growing on me, but again, I still think it plays things too safe. There's no real wow factor to behold. This is why I find more modern malls generally uninteresting and sometimes forgettable. But as an upside, you can still see remnants of Taubman and the original mall, between the escalator stairwell combo, which I love, as well as the JCPenney facade, and the ceiling details. The modern Macy's facade also looks elegant, if a little sterile. Overall, Southridge Mall seems to be hanging in there still, although Kohl's is going to need a new tenant at some point, and not just a seasonal pop-up in the form of Spirit Halloween. With that in mind, this would be an opportunity to see what the outlying area needs within the mall. With Wisconsin being a popular and desirable place to live, Southridge still has a fighting chance, even if it's battling for relevance with Mayfair. As long as management can keep up with maintenance and the mall's reputation doesn't tank. And look at that. Remember when that used to be a Sears facade with a wall in the entrance? Now look, Round 1 on top and Dick's on the bottom. It's like Sears was never there. But it was, once upon a time. As we wrap this walkthrough up, I want to ask you, what do you think of the Southridge Mall? Do you love it? Do you hate it? Do you live in the area? And if so, what do you want to see come to the Southridge Mall? Or do you believe that it should be knocked down and cleared out for strip malls and overpriced condos? Do share your thoughts in the comments below as we wrap things up. Thanks for having me, Greendale, Wisconsin. And until next time, this is Doomie Grunt wishing you and the Southridge Mall farewell and good luck in this mad, mad, mad world.